Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another self improvement video. Today, we're talking about how this diet changed my life. So, I'll definitely be telling you guys the specific diet, but let me tell you something before this diet. Before this specific diet, I ate like shit, right? Um, while I was working out, yeah, I was definitely working out. I was also sleeping well. My health did not drastically change positively due to my diet when I was young, right? I started to eat everything in my young years, you name it. Fast food, my parents' food, because I know I'm Asian, and of course my parents' cooking, especially my mom's cooking, so my mom's food, etc., all that stuff. I started gaining so much weight without even realizing it, and which I also developed acne, which on top of the this slide, which definitely affected my self-esteem and my mental health. I felt very depressed and lost all my confidence. I also experienced definitely low energy and was very tired and exhausted all day, and this affected my productivity in school and work. I didn't realize how this diet affects my life, not only physically but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and I disregarded diet my whole young years of life. And this was this was definitely back in my young years, middle school, my school years of life, where I didn't realize how much diet impacts, your overall health in general. The saying, you are what you eat, or abs are made in the kitchen, literally, which is basically eating clean, right? So, this diet is called the carnivore diet. Now, this consists of just meat. That's it, right? Um, Very simple and attainable and achievable diet to do. This diet is very high in protein, high in fat, and no carbs. So, this specific diet changed my life, right? So, um, since you're not eating any carbs, your body uses a backup energy source, which is fat, and that's when fat is used, which is the term ketosis. So, adding that to working out and doing lots of cardio and losing fat, you definitely get lean, which I did. So this diet removed my acne, right? There was no carbs, there was no bloating involved, right? And it cleared up my acne, which I was very shocked about that, right? I noticed that it gave me more energy in the morning and it made me push a lot more during my workouts, right? I didn't experience any grogginess. I didn't feel any sleepiness, all that stuff. And this diet saved me lots of money and just only worried about meat. Well, yes, um, meat is definitely expensive. If, of course, it's definitely a worthwhile investment, worthy investment of doing, right? This is the usual diet that the primal ancestors ate back in the natural times without the exposure of chemically processed foods. So, if you go back to the primal times, if you go back to history, um, hunters and gatherers, they hunt for just meat, right? And they hunt for meat, they cook it, and then they start eating, and that's literally their diet. And they were able to live longer, live a fuller and healthier lives, right? This is without the chemically processed foods now, where people are eating these unnatural foods, and that's when people started to feel like shit. They they don't look their best, and having a lot of mental health issues due to this diet, right? Um, I was definitely very lean and shredded. I was excess weight, so I was definitely my leanest. I think it was 130 pounds, 130 pounds. Yeah, very lean, right? You can definitely see striations and the progress that I made of building muscle. family members were also on this diet as well. So like my sister, it definitely improved my mental health as well. I was able to feel much more clearer. My mind was more positive. I was able to be more productive, and I stick to this diet ever since. And then it increased my satisfaction on this diet. So yeah. However, since this specific diet is really good, just be aware of the benefits and the drawbacks. So let's start with the benefits first. Um, you will definitely lose a lot of weight from this. So your body will enter in a state of ketosis and use fat as an energy source instead of sugar, which is the usual carbs. The pancreas, carbs is basically that the pancreas, that the carbs turn into sugar, and that's when the pancreas starts to produce insulin and then all that stuff, right? So this reduces your inflammation and bloating, giving you a chiseled look, right? This is when you see your definedness, your leanness, and you'll definitely look good while on this diet. This provides the most important nutrients. So this is your vitamin A, your B12, your zinc, your iron, etc. Other foods like bread and definitely the gluten foods, they don't have a lot of important nutrients. And the fact that we eat that we're supposed to have a food high in these bread, gluten that have no nutrients at all kind of affects your physical growth. Definitely provides energy throughout the day and alleviates brain fog. Now here are the drawbacks for this one. Since there are definitely many benefits, there are lots of downsides. No, it's not a lot of downsides, but there are downsides, such as it raises LDL cholesterol, which increases cardiovascular risk. So you definitely see these advertisements and these doctors saying like eat a healthy, balanced diet, don't eat a diet high in meat, all that stuff because it increases the LDL cholesterol, which increases the cardiovascular risk. Well, I feel like in the carnivore diet it's kind of different because if you just did a lot of cardio, you were very healthy, this wouldn't affect you, but you would have to be aware of this one. Yes, it's not meant for individuals with cardiac disease and a history of cardiac issues because of the increasing the LDL cholesterol. So LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, it builds up the plaque as you see in the picture on the left. HDL cholesterol is the good cholesterol. This eats away the LDL cholesterol. I don't have a picture on it, but of course you can just imagine the HDL cholesterol eating the LDL cholesterol. This diet has a lack of fiber, which causes constipation and interrupts the gut microbiome. When I was on this diet, I just ate only meat, and I experienced a lot of constipation because the stool was inside my body. Now I would have to use like a stool softener or something just to get it out. So just be aware of this one. It does cause constipation, and as well as it can cause you to have kidney stones due to the high fat and high sodium content. Thankfully, I didn't experience this, but I was able to combat this by drinking a lot of water. So make sure to drink a lot of water for that. It's very important. Let's go on to the research studies. So, of course, there is a study at Harvard that it showed that when adults were on the carnivore diet, they experienced weight loss. They experienced weight loss and reduced their risk of diabetes by their blood sugar when being on this diet because, of course, it's using fat instead of carbs, right? The other one, the other study, there's definitely studies that show that the carnivore diet demonstrated the management of chronic autoimmune and inflammatory bowel disease and reduced the risk of complications. This diet I mean, no, this study, when I read this study, definitely surprised me because definitely these diseases, like the ones I typed in here, the ones I put in here, they're definitely common. Um, Specifically, of course, celiac disease, you can't eat gluten, so you have to eat like this carnivore diet as well. But I was definitely very surprised in that because, it makes sense how gluten foods don't get a lot of nutrients, but the carnivore diet does. Eating meat does. So, um, there was definitely another person, another YouTuber that I'm gonna show next. Um, so here are the influencers on the carnivore diet. They inspired me to be on this diet, and they changed my lives. Um, because they once changed their lives when they're on this diet, which definitely removed their depression and negative mental health. And it just made me try this diet and decided to never come back from it. Influencers such as Jordan Peterson, Sean Baker, Dr. Sean Baker, Steak and Butter Gal, and Michaela Peterson have so many experiences on this diet, started to document their journey. There are other influencers as well, Hamza, Liver King, and a lot more that have also been on this diet, that have also been on this diet as well, and they start to promote as well. Jordan Peterson, so let's go one by one. So Jordan Peterson is a clinical psychologist, and he was on the carnivore diet journey, and he said that it definitely removed his mental health. It definitely improved his mental health and removed his depression. Dr. Sean Baker, he's a former doctor, and he started promoting this carnivore diet. And something that I didn't know about him is that he actually lost his practice in medicine because of this, because he promoted this diet, and he said a lot of good stuff on this diet. Steak and Butter Gal, this is this is a woman who's carnivore diet influencer. Has been on it for a long time. Of course, you can see her story on that. And then Michaela Peterson, which is Jordan Peterson's daughter. And of course, coming back with the point of that manage these chronic autoimmune diseases, Michaela Peterson has also um, experienced an autoimmune disease. I don't know which autoimmune disease it was, but she said that she had to deal with this autoimmune disease, and she tried to eat all other foods, um, which didn't work. You name it, like the bread, the salads, or I mean, like any food that you can think of, which didn't work. But when she got on the carnivore diet, that's when everything changed her life, and then you can of course see more of her story on there. Now the recommendations on this diet, if you're really interested, I mean, if you're really planning on get this diet, definitely get on this diet for sure. The benefits are definitely real, and you will see results within definitely a couple months. Like the results are quick. Like I think I remember I was on this diet for 2 to 3 months, and I saw definitely massive changes. Right, you definitely see it within a month or two. Right, and this is the easiest diet to follow. Like it's just meat. That's it. Um, it's definitely good. It tastes good, and your body will thank you for it. Make sure to do your research first before getting on this diet, and do not rely on my word for it. So, of course, don't trust me. Don't take my word for it. Just do your research first, and be aware of the pros and cons. Um, yeah, definitely want to add here about this carnivore diet. Yes, still technically on this diet, but I kind of introduce more of the healthier stuff, like more of the green leaves, vegetables, all that stuff. Because at that point in my life, I started experiencing chest pain, which kind of came from the carnivore diet. That like, oh, it's probably built on my cholesterol. I got my blood work back, and it turns out my my LDL cholesterol specifically was elevated, which increased my risk for cardiovascular disease. So I was very scared. I didn't like it. So it's kind of a semi diet, but more of the clean version of it. So it was back to the drawback of that increases the LDL cholesterol. Get on this diet if you're struggling with your health and fitness. Definitely, of course, if you want to lose weight and stuff. Of course, consult your doctor before trying this. Make sure just consult your doctor before trying this diet. If you have any history of cardiovascular disease, all of that, I recommend just be careful on this diet and just consult your doctor first. Definitely start this diet when you're young. This is when you definitely get all the benefits, like I did, and this will change your life and health, and you will realize that the modern chemically processed foods that are very toxic and unhealthy, you realize that these foods like the McDonald's, the slop, all that stuff are, very toxic, unhealthy. Even though they're cheap and they're popular, it's easy to get. Just stay away from them, And you will be able to live your life more natural, right? You'll be able to feel more happier, healthier, and yeah, all that stuff. So of course, like I said, that's it for this today's video. Thanks for watching. Here are my references. Guys, links are in the description if you want to follow me more on there and contact me, or just stay up to date with me on there. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.